All right, guys, welcome to the fourth and final lab of Labapalooza. We have so far seen a gas formation, right? That was the baking soda and vinegar. We've seen temperature change, right? That was with the calcium chloride in water. We've seen a color change by adding an indicator to an acid and a base and then figuring out an unknown. And today we're going to see the last sign of a chemical reaction, which is called the formation of a precipitate. Now, you're probably familiar with that word precipitate when we talk about weather. It means to fall down, like rain and snow do from the sky. In the case of chemistry, a precipitate is a solid that forms when two liquids mix together, and then it usually settles to the bottom. That's where you find the precipitate. We're going to create a precipitate in two ways today. One, a demonstration that I'll show you during class, and the other you're going to do right here using some equipment. So you may have heard of a substance called soap scum. It gets mentioned a lot in cleaning ads for different products. Soap scum is a precipitate that's made from soap and minerals in the water. So a lot of people's water in their house have lots of minerals in it that get dissolved in from the pipes and from the sources of the water. A lot of people that get their water from Falls Lake have water with lots of minerals in it. We call this hard water. So hard water is water that has lots of minerals in it. When hard water comes in contact with soapy water, the chemicals in the soap and the minerals, they combine to form a solid that settles out of the liquid onto the bottom. Now that solid is a whitish color, and so some people think of it as being soap. But one of the biggest problems with this solid, which is soap scum, is that it doesn't dissolve in water. And because it doesn't dissolve, it sticks to surfaces in your house if soap and hard water have made contact with each other. So we're gonna make soap scum here in class today. I'm gonna start with a beaker that has a coffee filter on top of it that will collect the soap scum for us. And then you have a cup of hard water where I've mixed minerals in with the water, and a cup with soapy water that has pure soap, ivory soap in it, and we're going to mix them. So you start by combining them in one cup, and what you should notice right away is that the water is going to get a little bit milky colored, okay? Now there will probably be some floating pieces of soap in there, and that's okay. But now, with one hand holding the coffee filter in place, we're going to pour this liquid into the coffee filter, careful not to let it overflow, and not to let the filter fall down. And we're going to let it sit here. You'll see the water dripping through the filter. We want as much of that water as possible to drip through, so we're going to give it a couple minutes to let that happen. When we're done, we're going to have a coffee filter that's a little bit damp that has some milky white stuff on it. Some of that milky white stuff is soap scum. And your job is going to be to figure out how you can prove that we made a new substance, that the stuff that's on the coffee filter is not soap. So to help you with that, I'm also going to give you a tray, a weighing pan that has some soap in it, the same exact soap that we used, and it's going to be your job to come up with a way to show that this and the stuff on the filter are not the same thing. Your challenge, you get to decide how to do it. I'll give you some equipment on your lab station, and you decide how to prove that this is not that. So that's question number one you're going to answer is, how can you tell that what you made is soap scum and not soap? Okay, soap scum and not soap. How can you prove it? Okay, and then question number two is, what is a precipitate? What is a precipitate? All right, that's it. Enjoy the lab.